Welcome to the Furthermore podcast. What is up, everybody? You do not want to miss this. I am so excited, so inspired, so energized to be with the legendary DMV comedian Camilo Diaz. Camilo, what is poppin'?
What's up, Mudit?
Not chilling. Much. Same. I am chilling as well. Chilling like a villain. I am so happy that you're here. Very honored to have you on. For viewers that may not know, Camilo Diaz is the reason I do comedy. Camilo paved the way for me. He taught me. My first ever open mic was at Gumbo Yaya in Germantown, Maryland, run by Camilo Diaz. So thank you, Camilo. Thank you for impacting my life in this very positive way.
Thank you for having me. The reason I do stand-up is because of Dark Mark Joyner from Baltimore. He runs a sidebar open mic. He kind of told me which mics I could hit.
Awesome. Yes, Dark Mark of Baltimore at Sidebar. Shout out to him. Really great, challenging mic. Really welcoming, and I hope it comes back. Camilo, tell us your comedy origin story. You mentioned Dark Mark. Like, what got you into it? Why don't you unpack that and tell us how your comedy journey started and came to be?
I started watching stand-up when I was maybe 8 or 9. A lot of Comedy Central, a lot of HBO. And then I started stand-up in September or October 2015. I'm pretty sure it was at the end of September. It was a Tuesday. It was at Wits End Saloon in Timonium, Maryland.
Oh.
Rob Mayer was a host of the open mic. So I'm pretty sure, I think it was the last Tuesday of September 2015.
Yeah.
Up until then, I had been listening to a lot of Patrice O'Neill, a lot of Patton Oswalt, a lot of Mark Maron.
Word.
The way they would romanticize stand-up made me feel like I had to try it. I had to give it a shot at least once, so I could say that I gave it a shot.
Got you. So your first mic was at Wits End Saloon. That's the toughest room, I think, specifically the saloon. That's a very tough room for me. Probably the toughest room I've ever attempt to do. I never got a chance to try it before the pandemic, or before the lockdown. So how'd that go? How was that first open mic of yours?
It was bad. And I got up. The lights were in my face. I underestimated how powerful the lights were. I had tunnel vision. And then I told 2 minutes of really dirty jokes that nobody liked. And then I forgot what I was going to say, so I stared at my phone for a minute, and then Rob Mayer walked up and he told me to get off the stage. So
gotcha.
It was bad.
And just to clarify, was this the saloon part, like the, on the side, or not the Magooby's stage? Is that
correct?
Okay.
It was the bar.
I'm wondering, where did the light come from? Is it the light on top?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the light. Got you. Because the Magooby's lights are there's a bit more of an angle, but I feel you. I feel like those details really stick out more in the first time, like the lighting.
Yeah. The first time it hits you a little bit, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Definitely. I relate to that a lot in the sense that, again, the first time I ever hit Wits End Saloon was maybe September-ish, if I remember correctly. And, the first mic that came back was Second Chance Saloon, which has left, unfortunately. But Wits End was, Wits End was the one mic I would never make it to before the pandemic, because, like, Baltimore City would have, like, literally 5 other mics in the city. So it wouldn't really make much sense driving-wise to go out of my way to, Timonium. I've really crashed and burned at this Wits End Saloon. I don't know what it is about the space, or the audience, or the infrastructure that makes it so tough, but it's a very difficult room.
Me too. It is. You can't really hear the laughs if you're lucky to get any.
Word.
Very quiet.
Word. Definitely. Yeah. I perceive your comedy as a style of, like, pretty concise one-liners. You really cut out the fat and tend to get to the point. Tell us about your preferred content or comedic styles, and then also maybe the methods of how you develop new bits.
I do a lot of one-liners. I do a lot of dirty jokes, and then occasionally I'll do a math or physics joke. But none of this is intentional. I don't say that's what I'm going to do. I guess that's just how I express myself. I noticed that one-liners are palatable because like they're little snacks, you know. You don't. There's not a lot of commitment to it. If it doesn't work, you move on, and there's another one right after it. So like user friendly. The math and physics jokes, I teach math for a living, so, and I like physics, so sometimes those ideas they spill over into my kind of dirty minded jokes, and then I try to blend the two. And the dirty stuff is just me being me, talking about what's usually on my mind.
Definitely. I feel you. I think that when I started out, I was like this rambling storyteller with very few punchlines. I think your style kind of kept me in check, like observing your style of the importance of structure. And then the other thing is like stage time, you know, as we know, it's like we as comedians, we grind as much as possible to hit the stage as often as possible. And it's really typically only 5 to 7 minutes on that stage. So it's more efficient, from like a laughs per, minute perspective to keep it concise and something along the lines of a one-liner, in my opinion, to really retain and sustain the audience's attention. So I've like evolved from this rambling storyteller to a bit more of a concise 1 to 2 to 3 liner comedian. Hopefully as I hit, bigger stages or get longer set times, I can patch it up with like unique storytelling elements and then add more tags and stuff like that. So yeah.
I noticed that your jokes have become shorter. You're doing more one-liners. You're doing more puns and wordplay.
Right.
Getting more comfortable on stage.
Definitely. Yeah. I feel it as well. Have you done any I've seen you on one Zoom mic. What's your take on like Zoom and online mics and shows?
It is a convenient way to try out some new jokes,
right.
But it's very difficult.
Right.
But it's difficult because a lot of people keep their microphones off, so you don't get any feedback. But here's the thing, if a joke works on Zoom and people are dying laughing, you know you got a gem of a joke.
True. Yes.
Like, okay, we got something good here for sure. So that's a hard thing. It's a definitely an uphill battle, but if you can do well on a Zoom mic, you know you're doing something right. That's good feedback.
Definitely. And I've found it to be a solid networking opportunity as well, especially as a newcomer with different time zones and whatnot. So that's been super fulfilling. I understand that you have an album out. I believe you refer to it as an album, and it's on YouTube. Can you tell us about that?
The album is called Practice. It's a stand-up comedy album. It was recorded in early 2020, mostly at Cellar Door in Frederick.
Yeah.
See, what I would do is I would take my phone and record my open mic sets, and then I assembled, I think, 5 of them or 6 of them. The whole point was to see if I could actually assemble an album, if I could record it, put it together, put it on Spotify, put it on YouTube, put it on iTunes. I just wanted to see what the process was like.
Definitely.
So that's why I called the album Practice.
Oh.
And I wanted to document my jokes. I don't know, I have this fear that something might happen to me. Might get to an accident, I might die, and there will never be any documentation that I did stand up.
Right.
And I'm kind of just proud to say that I did it. And that's mostly it. And hopefully people like it, but probably not. Sound quality is bad because I use my phone.
No, I think it's a very important takeaway, like practicing and doing more so than contemplating and thinking about it and then therefore never getting it done. I took a listen to at least 3 of the tracks, and I thought it sounded fine, at least audible. I was definitely able to catch a lot of the punches, if not all of them. I try to keep some level of documentation at bare minimum, like audio only, if there's no location to plant my phone tripod. Congratulations on the album.
Thank you, man. Congrats on your podcast.
Thank you. Yeah. So you graduated with an engineering degree, worked a certain type of job for, I forget if it was a year or two, and then went to teaching. You talk about that journey.
Yeah, I studied mechanical engineering. Right after that, I worked at UPS for 6 months as a plant engineer. So we were doing conveyor belt maintenance. And then I quit because I didn't like it. It's not even the workload, but the stress from kind of office politics and drama, in addition to some of the workload, in addition to the fact that the work was not, I didn't think I was contributing anything to anyone. I felt like I was a placeholder. I was there to, I don't know, check off a box or something. I was on the verge of like throwing up the last couple of days I was there. I was kind of pissed off. So I quit. I studied math, went back to school, got a master's degree in math, and since 2014, I've been teaching math at the community college level since then. And
awesome.
In graduate school, that's when I started stand-up.
Gotcha.
2015. Yeah.
You teach and you do comedy. How do you keep everything balanced? Do you have any takes on balancing comedy and commitments of life?
I have very few obligations, very few responsibilities. My bills are almost zero because I live with my mom. I work 8 months a year, and when I do work, it's maybe like 30 hours a week. So I don't have a lot to do. And every year that I teach, I become more efficient.
Nice.
So I'm able to sharpen my planning skills, my organization. I can look into the future a little better every year that I teach. I'm getting better. So I'm becoming more efficient. So I have a lot of free time. And when I do go to open mics and shows, I have to, and I don't like doing this, but I have to be committed to leaving early. I have to get there early and I have to leave early because I really do have to go to sleep.
Word.
So with regards to comedy, it's some discipline, get there early and leave early, even though you appear like an asshole, but whatever, it's something I gotta do. And then I just don't have many responsibilities. So
gotcha.
That's how I balance the two.
Yeah, and I definitely feel you on the sleep need. But yeah, thank you so much, Camilo. Really appreciate having you on.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.